Hello everyone, Mr. Shepherd here with some history, and our woke for today is to compare the lives of Florence Nightingale and Mary Seacole. So first of all, we've got a couple of videos there to watch. They'll be on the Sway, so you'll be able to click on them there. First one's on Mary Seacole and the second one is on Florence Nightingale. All right, so what does it mean to compare two things? So to compare something with something else, you're going to look at the thing and you're going to decide what is the same about those two things, or people in this case, and what is different about them. Okay, so what do they have in common? What do they have in common, and what do they have that's different about them? Okay, so just to think about the similarities and differences between Mary Seacole and Florence Nightingale. What do we know already about those two women? Okay, what can we say is the same about them, and what is different about them? So if you've got someone you speak to, just speak to them and see what can you remember about these two women. What's the same about them and what's different? Okay, so you can pause the video if you like, otherwise we'll keep going. And now they both, so we're looking at similarities first. They both travelled from other countries to help the soldiers in Crimea. Okay, that's the first thing similar about them. Okay, they both cared a lot for people and they tried their best to help the soldiers who were wounded. All right, both in very different ways, but they both were trying their best to help the soldiers. They both nursed in the Crimean War. Okay, both women used their own ideas and knowledge to help soldiers in their care. Both were given nicknames by the soldiers they cared for. Florence Nightingale was known as Lady of the Lamp, okay, because you remember she used to go around at night with her lamp and check on the soldiers. And Mary Seacole was known as Mother Seacole. Okay, so she was known as Mother Seacole because of her sort of caring nature of how she looked after the men who were wounded in the war. Both women were born in other countries but ended up living in England. Okay, so both women actually ended up living in England for Florence Nightingale for the most part of her life, but Mary Seacole as well, and both women actually died in England. They both challenged the ideas of their times regarding the role of women in society. Okay, so during that time, the things that they did would not have been things that were traditionally done by women. Florence Nightingale, in the fact that she very much took a leadership role in the work that she was doing, and Mary Seacole in the fact that she used to go and tend to the soldiers on the battlefield. Okay, you wouldn't have traditionally had women doing those sort of things at that time. So they both helped to change the way that women were viewed in society. All right. Although Florence Nightingale had to overcome many obstacles, she had an official nursing role. Okay, so we're looking at differences now. So she had an official nursing role, whereas Mary Seacole experienced racism, was not allowed to become an official army nurse. Okay, she wanted to be with the army as a nurse, but they actually rejected her when she came to the War Office to try and get that job. So she then had to do things off her own bat, as far as travelling to the Crimea and setting up the place that she set up for the soldiers. Okay, Florence was born in Italy. Okay, Mary Seacole was born in Jamaica. That's another difference between the two. Florence was given official financial support during her nursing career. Mary Seacole had to make her way to Crimea and set up her hospital with the help of family members. Okay, so she very much financed herself in what she was doing in the Crimea. Florence was very concerned with improving conditions and hygiene. She helped establish the traditional role of a nurse assisting doctors. Okay, Mary Seacole was more focused on providing food, products, and comfort alongside administering her herbal remedies. Okay, so they had two very different approaches, and they helped the soldiers in very different ways, really. Florence was more about changing the way that everything was done, when in hospitals and the hygiene and the systems are in place. And Mary Seeker was more about, well, how you would expect, I suppose, someone that's less trained in that job to go about things. So she used her own knowledge that she had from Jamaica, with her mother being a doctoress, and she used that knowledge to help the soldiers the best ways that she could. Okay. All right, now more differences. Florence was based in a hospital away from the battlefields. Mary worked close to the front line and even amongst the fighting on the battlefield. Okay, so she set up her, if you remember, her British hotel quite close to the battlefield. She was only a couple of miles away, and then sometimes she would actually travel to the battlefield and go in amongst the fighting and help the soldiers there. Okay. All right, so we've got some worksheets to do that you can download from the website. And there's an easier one for people that need a little bit more support. You'll see it's got sort of colourful pictures that you need to sort. And then there's another one that's a bit harder that's just got written information of facts about the two women that you need to sort out. Okay, so good luck with them, and I'll speak to you soon. Okay, cheers. Bye-bye.